What is going on, Trash Talkers? We're back with another episode for you. Today's video, we're going to give you our power rankings heading into Week 9 in the NFL. All that and much more coming your way right now! Hey Trash Talkers, over 85% of you are still not subscribed to the channel. Please be sure to hit that red subscribe button and turn on notifications, as it will help us create more daily content for you. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Alright Nick, Week 8 is officially in the books and we are having our sights set on Week 9. A lot of good games, a lot of great action that we anticipate, but I want to take one look back at Week 8 and kind of think about the week that was and just go over our power rankings here. And obviously we start off with teams 32 and 31. Who do we have here?
Yeah, still here at 32 and 31, the Detroit Lions and the Houston Texans. The Detroit Lions fell terribly to the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 8, and that's something that can't go unnoticed. The Detroit Lions looked worse than ever, and I think this is just more to come for the Detroit Lions. They are headed in the wrong direction. And the Houston Texans, under Davis Mills, this team really stands no chance. Luckily, Tyrann Mathieu is scheduled to come back next week, so there is some bright spots for the Houston Texans. Maybe he could get a surprise victory in the future weeks.
Next up, we have teams 30 through 21, taking a look at the Jacksonville Jaguars at 30, the Miami Dolphins, the Atlanta Falcons, the Chicago Bears, the Washington Football Team, the New York Jets, the New York Giants, the Seattle Seahawks, the Denver Broncos, and the Philadelphia Eagles rounding it out at 21. Nick, which team surprised you the most in Week 8?
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk about the Miami Dolphins here, because sitting at 1-7, this is not how you expected the Miami Dolphins season to go. It should have been the other way around with the team that they have built. But with everything going on, now we hear that Tua Tagovailoa is actually scheduled to stay in Miami for the remainder of the season. Deshaun Watson will most likely not be traded to the Miami Dolphins. So I really don't understand that one. That one boggles my mind, because you're sitting at 1-8. What do you have to lose trading for Deshaun Watson right now? You can let Deshaun Watson ride the bench and just learn the playbook and be ready for next season, instead of giving him only a couple of months to get the chemistry right, learn the playbook, and get ready for the next season for the Miami Dolphins. It doesn't make any sense. Do it now. You have nothing to lose, so why not just do it? I think the Miami Dolphins are just such a historically bad team right now for who they are. A team that was playoff contenders the last 2 years, now just absolutely falling flat on their face. Luckily, they do have a lot of draft picks, so hopefully they can correct this moving into next season.
Hey, the Dolphins are 1-8. You're already giving them a loss for next week already, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But listen, I have said this for a couple of weeks now. I don't think Deshaun Watson was going to get traded before the deadline, especially with his looming legal issues. So it makes sense in that vein. I mean, you talk about these billionaire owners. They want to be sure that the player they're going to be trading away future assets for is actually going to be able to stay on the field. So I get that a lot. But I want to talk about another AFC East team, and specifically one that seems to have a better quarterback scenario going on. That's the New York Jets. The New York Jets started Mike White in the absence of Zach Wilson after trading for Joe Flacco with the Philadelphia Eagles, and Mike White put on one hell of a show this week. I mean, we're talking about 406 yards and just absolutely dynamic passing the ball, making great decisions with the football, hitting all of his receivers in stride. Perfect throws. There wasn't a bad thing to be said about Mike White. He did everything that you could possibly expect and more for not only a backup quarterback, but a backup quarterback that is also a rookie that's not getting reps with the first team. And he did it without their number one wide receiver, Corey Davis, on top of that. So when that's all said and done, I have to give props to the New York Jets. They really willed that victory, and they deserve everything about it. But now they have a question on their hands. Does Mike White start over Zach Wilson? That is the question that they have to answer. And I think they're going to get another shot at it this week as they see Mike White taking on the Indianapolis Colts on Thursday Night Football. Zach Wilson not looking like he'll be ready to go in that one. So Mike White will have another chance to really make the decision hard on the coaching staff, and Robert Saleh having to make a decision that he may not be ready to make. Next up, we have teams 20 through 11, starting off with the Cleveland Browns at 20, the San Francisco 49ers at 19, the Carolina Panthers at 18, the Pittsburgh Steelers at 17, the Kansas City Chiefs at 16, the Minnesota Vikings at 15, the Indianapolis Colts at 14, the Los Angeles Chargers at 13, the Cincinnati Bengals at 12, and the New England Patriots at 11. Nick, out of these teams, which one surprised you the most?
Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings, who had what seemed to be an easy road to victory on Sunday Night Football with the news that Cooper Rush was going to play at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. The Minnesota Vikings should have been able to stomp all over that, take out Cooper Rush and this offense, yet Cooper Rush absolutely dazzled on the Minnesota Vikings defense. He really put on a show, and I think that the Minnesota Vikings are in a terrible spot right now, sitting at 3-4 on the season. They have what it takes to be playoff contenders. I strongly believe that. But as long as Mike Zimmer's the head coach, I think that they're going to struggle. And it's time for us to really contemplate whether Mike Zimmer should be the head coach or not. And if they were to make a move to oust him right now, I think that they would be in a better spot to make the playoffs than they were a day ago. Mike Zimmer should be able to put wins against the Dallas Cowboys with Cooper Rush or the Cincinnati Bengals. I just don't understand why these are games where the Minnesota Vikings have an easy road to victory and they're losing. It's something that I would have expected with the Raiders and John Gruden. Now that he's out, you see the Raiders winning every single game. I think the same would happen for Minnesota.
Minnesota is just inconsistent, and they always have been under Mike Zimmer's rule. It's just been the way they have been, and honestly, they play down to their competition. You talked about the John Gruden way in Las Vegas, but that's really where Minnesota lies as well. And another team that I want to highlight here, the Cleveland Browns. They play down to their competition as well. The Pittsburgh Steelers came into this matchup obviously off of a bye week, but they were reeling with injuries. No Juju Smith-Schuster. The offensive line is atrocious. The defense hadn't played a single good game all season, and the Browns just browned. I mean, they really didn't do much of anything. And we saw, a couple highlight plays here and there. And obviously, I know Browns fans all over the world are going, that should have been a late hit call that, the refs missed. But Baker got up and he seemed to have rallied his team. And all of a sudden, Jarvis Landry gets a nice slant pattern. And all of a sudden, he gets another fumble. And it's bad. It's the Browns all over again. But the issue here is that the Cleveland Browns are a much better and skilled team than they are playing, and they have played down to their competition consistently as well. I know Kevin Stefanski is regarded as a good head coach. I think we have to take a look and say, maybe he isn't a good head coach. Maybe he's not the guy for this job, and maybe Baker Mayfield needs to rest a little bit. Maybe they have to put him on IR for 3 weeks, because with his shoulder and with his injuries, with everything else we're seeing from this Browns team, you can't be without him. And right now, he's the only option you have, and he's just straining to stay on the field. I don't like what I've seen from the Browns. I need to see a lot more coming from them, and they have some tough competition ahead of them.
And now for the top 10, starting off with the first team, the Tennessee Titans, who had an incredible overtime win over the Indianapolis Colts, who got out to a very big lead early on. Derrick Henry going down in this game did not bode well for the Tennessee Titans, but they were able to rally back. Ryan Tannehill really taking the reins. No Julio Jones in this contest as well. You saw what A.J. Brown's capable of, and he's going to need to play at that level for the remainder of the season if the Tennessee Titans are going to keep this up. They are 6-2. They are sitting atop the entire AFC, and I believe that they have enough firepower on this offense to keep it going. Julio Jones definitely needs to come back. We need to see what we have in Adrian Peterson, but I think the Tennessee Titans are safe with the way the AFC is standing right now.
Tennessee Titans will be out of the top 10 by next week, guaranteed. The New Orleans Saints sit at number 9, and not only did they take down their division rival, defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they did it in a fashion that absolutely demoralized the Bucks. I mean, when you pick six Tom Brady to put the game seal and just absolutely send them packing, that is something that you could only write in a storybook. Now, we've seen this book before. We've seen this story play out. The Saints really took it to the Buccaneers in their first two matchups last year and then got absolutely rinsed in the playoffs. So when I take a look at the Saints, this is all well and good and you can have your party in the locker room, but just know that you have a man across the stadium that's not happy about losing the way he did. You guys are going to have to come out even stronger. The New Orleans Saints sit atop the top 10 right now in our power rankings, but they better watch out because the Buccaneers are not happy.
At number 8, we have the Baltimore Ravens coming off their bye. They're looking to continue their success. The Baltimore Ravens have struggled through so many issues this season, come out on top of all the adversity, and they're looking really strong. Lamar Jackson is as incredible as ever, and his throwing ability is improving by the game. I really like what Rashad Bateman is doing in this offense. If he can get going, Sammy Watkins can come back. This offense can be the real deal. They can be one of the strongest offenses we see in the NFL, and that defense is going to continue to be a top 5 defense in the NFL. The Baltimore Ravens are one of the biggest threats right now in the AFC.
At number 7, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders, obviously on a bye week this week, not much to say about them, but they're sitting atop the AFC West, and we're looking at that division as the Chargers just fell. The Chiefs are playing on Monday night, and you have a division where things are starting to fall their way, and while we see them moving up this week, it's a lot of to do with the teams right next to them or right around them falling down, and they are a blessing to be able to move up on a week where they don't even have to play a football game. So the Raiders find themselves at number 7, and they should count their blessings, but they're going to have to prove it next week.
At number 6, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers falling a little bit this week after that loss to the New Orleans Saints, who routed them twice last season as well, 3 games in a row for the New Orleans Saints over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But remember back to last season, right before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went in for their bye week, they had that big loss to Kansas City, and they came out on top and went undefeated for the rest of the year. I could definitely see the same thing happening here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just need to get healthy, and this is the perfect time to do so with the bye week. I really believe that the Bucs are one of the strongest teams in the NFL. They just had a couple bad weeks so far this season. They just need to get healthy, and they'll be back right on schedule.
At number 5, we have the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are clearly the number 1 team in the AFC right now. They have a strong offense. They have a strong defense. Josh Allen looks like a possible MVP candidate. We have Sean McDermott as a Coach of the Year candidate. We have a hell of a lot to talk about with the Buffalo Bills, but needless to say, they're just the best team in the AFC, and they've proven it. Granted, they did lose week 1 to the Steelers, and they lost a couple of weeks ago to the Tennessee Titans, but no Derrick Henry means the Buffalo Bills are walking away scot-free right now. So I like the Buffalo Bills. They're going to sit in the top 5 right now, but they have some work to do on themselves to move up this ladder board. But at the end of the day, I'm excited for the Buffalo Bills.
At number 4, we have the Dallas Cowboys. After that incredible win over the Minnesota Vikings, Cooper Rush proving to be a great backup quarterback, and Dak Prescott looking healthy, looks like he'll be back for the remainder of the season. This is going to be one incredible team moving forward. Michael Gallup coming back into the picture. The defense is playing out of its mind right now. Randy Gregory looks like he's been completely reborn, really looks great in this defensive package. And Trayvon Diggs still looking like the lockdown receiver from the previous weeks. I think Trayvon Diggs is still holding up his end of the bargain as Defensive Player of the Year. And the Dallas Cowboys are one of the best teams we've seen so far this year in the NFL.
At number 3, we have the Arizona Cardinals, who have fallen a couple of spots after falling to the Green Bay Packers, who were without seemingly every wide receiver known to man, and Randall Cobb had to start as the wide receiver 1 for Aaron Rodgers. Needless to say, the Cardinals are missing J.J. Watt, and at this point, they are going to be reeling, but Chandler Jones is coming back and getting back into the fold and getting ready for things. So I expect the Cardinals to pick up where they left off before the J.J. Watt injury. I expect the Cardinals to really solidify themselves as a top team in the NFL, but they are on a slippery slope right now, and if they have to go through a dry spell of wins, it's not going to look pretty, especially in the NFC West. They're sitting at 3 right now, but it's a very volatile number 3.
And at number 2, you can say the same thing with the Los Angeles Rams, who only have one loss on the season, coming at the hands of the Arizona Cardinals, their division rival. The Los Angeles Rams looked incredible, but it was against the Houston Texans. Nonetheless, they've looked fantastic all year. This offense is incredible. And now, with the addition of Von Miller, this defense becomes even more terrorizing. Him and Leonard Floyd as the linebackers with Aaron Donald in the middle of the defensive line. This is going to be one incredible pass rush. The question really is, can they stop the run? Because Von Miller is definitely not going to help in that aspect. I really need to see them improve in that run defense.
Yeah, I don't think the Rams have much to worry about next week as they face off against the Derrick Henry-less Tennessee Titans. So good for them. At number 1, though, we have the best team in football, the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers just absolutely thumping the Arizona Cardinals and costing us our bets for the week, but I'm not salty at all. The fact is, Aaron Rodgers continues to show that he is playing at an MVP pace. He is doing it with whoever you throw out in front of him. Doesn't matter if it's Devontae Adams, Allen Lazard, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Randall Cobb, or some guy off the street that has to catch a couple of slant patterns. He's going to make it work. Aaron Jones and this offensive line have done a really solid job complimenting Aaron Rodgers, and the defense really stepped up when they needed to, really containing the Cardinals and just doing everything they had to. Bravo to the Packers. They are the best team in football.
Yeah, the Packers are absolutely incredible what they're able to do. This defense has improved so much off of last year, and they're missing their best cornerback in Jair Alexander. Once he's back and healthy, this becomes even bigger of a threat. I really like what the Packers are doing this year, and David Bakhtiari also has yet to make his return. Once this offensive line is fixed, once Devontae Adams is back, I don't know if there's a team in the NFL that can really stop this Green Bay Packers team.
All right, well, I want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you think of our power rankings. Which teams do we have too high, and which teams do you think we have too low? Let us know in the comments down below. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.